everybody can do mistakes, but if you do something that then doesn't work, you just check, double check, triple check, quadruple check your work, just to make sure you haven't missed anything. If you miss something like this, stop working on cars. Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. So the video today is on this 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is the Outland version, if you will. As you can see, it's sitting down a little bit too low. So that's actually the issue with it, but I gave it a quick look yesterday and I found loads of issues, and I don't know if I want to open these kind of worms. So look at the state of this to start with. Man, wow. Anyway, look at that, there's grease everywhere. Right, anyway, so this has been the part scanning already, and I will explain you very shortly what was done to this and what else I found wrong with this, because there's a lot of things wrong and a lot of things that have been tried to be, or they have been covered already. Okay, and just out of curiosity, the particular engine on this is the V6 3-liter diesel, 247 brake horsepower. I don't think this comes with the famous OM642. I think this is a newer version, different engine. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's the same as the Mercedes one. But that's not really important to a degree. I found a lot of issues already with this, as I said. But the only thing I was asked to look at is the suspension. So that's the only thing we're going to look at is the suspension. The suspension had a new compressor installed. Probably an aftermarket, had a new compressor installed, and apparently the problem stayed exactly the same. There is 2 faults on the module, which I'll show you in a second, but I found all the issues yesterday when I came here just by turning the ignition on. I've done also a test with the maxi Cs on the cluster just to make sure, and yeah, as you're going to see, guys, when you turn the ignition on, you're going to see that there is no engine light and no ESP lights. Okay, so engine light works right here at the top. As you can see, I'm going to turn these off again. They're back on, as you can see. And the ESP light, you have the ESP off in there, but right on the side there is a ESP light, which is the indication of a fault or when the ESP is activated. And I know for a fact that light should be on because the tool tells me it should be on. And there is a fault on the electronic LSD differential, I believe that's what it's for, that puts that ESP light on, and obviously the ESP light has been covered to obviously mask the problem, if you will. The engine light, there is some faults on the engine, although they are not active faults, or they were not yesterday. There is some faults in there. Don't know if they are faults that don't clear, whatever, I'm not 100% sure. All I know, there is some faults, and all I know is that obviously, as you can see, the engine light has been also been covered. So clearly someone has been already tried to mask a lot of issues on this. We're going to give you a quick scan and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, and then we're going to move on, try to see if we can figure out what's wrong with this suspension. As you've seen, the alarm already came on in there saying there is a fault with the suspension. I don't know if it's going to come on again or not. It will come on definitely if I start the car, and we do have all of these there we go. Okay. Now, this fault, there's 2 faults in there. Actually, let me plug in the maxi Cs and I'll show you. Okay, but before that, let's gonna start this thing. So, service 4-wheel drive system. So that fault, let me show you that fault first. That fault is the one that is right here. Let me show you. So there we go. C222-1-00 ELSD. I think it's electronic LSD. I think it's for the differential. TTC present, and then if you come here onto my live data, and you come down here, so ESP fault indicator lamp request set state on. So that should be on. That should be on, which is the ESP light on the side. So when you press the ESP off, which now it doesn't work because we have a fault, so the ESP off that comes on there on the side, let me show you that. So this, come on. So that ESP off is for when you deliberately switch off the ESP, okay? So when I do this, you see, it comes on in there. You see, I do that, it goes off, so it goes on and off, okay? That's fine. But now once I have these running, because we do have a fault on the system, if I try to disable the ESP, oh, it's actually, there we go. As soon as the fault comes, so he did it once before he threw the fault for the four-wheel drive. So now when I try to turn it off, it doesn't work, okay, because there is a fault on the system. So the ESP light on the side now, it should be illuminated, and is not, because someone tried to cover it up. Quite interesting. Okay, but I was not asked to look at that. I'm not gonna even investigate that problem. Couldn't care less, to be honest. Engine, I'll just show you quickly what's on the engine. We have 3 faults. They were not active yesterday. Yeah, they're all stored, as you can see. So maybe they go away if I try to clear. Maybe they come back again. I'm not 100% sure. Engine light has been covered, as I have showed you already. And now if you're going to go, no, that's not there. That's on chassis. And I think active dumping. No, it's not. I don't think it's this. Yeah, that's it. Is the air suspension control module. There is 2 faults. One is for the calibration, and the other one, so ECU implant mode, that was me yesterday. That I did something to it, but that should come out once we do the calibration. And we have the low air mass, which is the one that is causing the issue. So if I clear these codes now, I think I need to have engine off. Now let me start the car. It says no stored message, but it comes up straight away. You haven't seen the no stored message. So now if I scan the car again, it should come up with 2 faults. One is that, but why that is not coming out? It should come out now. It was me that did this yesterday when I was trying to do a test for something. I might have to take that off, but it should come up again with the other code for the air mass, which is the one that is actually causing the issue. So actually, if I come here on system check, and I'll do air spring circuit check, and I do, for example, front air spring, it's going to try to adjust. There we go, adjusting. It's going to come up with a fault very quickly. There we go. System air mass too low. And now if I go back to the ECU, we're going to have the low air mass, which is the one that is causing all my issues. I did cause this issue yesterday. Try to do something. Maybe I need to do all of these now before that one comes out of before I be able to clear that code. But before was definitely only 2 codes. That was me that caused it. We'll sort that later. But this is my problem here. So I cannot do a calibration before I resolve these low air mass. Now the issue with this thing is, this is the one or this is the one that is supposed to be filled in with nitrogen. There's a tank at the back, which I'll show you in a second what it is. There is a tank that is supposed to be filled in with nitrogen at 100 or 200 psi, something like that, which is 220 or 200 psi is what, 20 bars, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, a little bit less than that. Is about 13 bars or 14 bars, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's what's supposed to be. I believe this system, if I'm not wrong, doesn't really. So once you have the system filled with nitrogen, the compressor, the only thing it does is pushing the air from the tank to the springs, to the suspension. Obviously, each one of the airbags, if you will, on the suspension, on the shocks, and the compressor is only supposed to push the air in and out. I guess if you have this filled in with air, it will work the same, but this is supposed to be nitrogen for some reason. And the compressor is supposed to compensate with fresh air for any leaks over time, but as far as I'm aware, I'm not 100% sure, I'm not 100% familiar with the system, but I know something along those lines. We're going to quickly look at some live data. I've done yesterday a little bit, but was just literally just flying through the live data, just see if there's anything that would stand out quickly. But we're going to look ourselves now and see if there's anything that stands out. But if they had the compressor removed, does the tank needs to be filled in? Possibly, I'm not sure. We'll have to go and investigate. And as we scroll through live data, I can start from the beginning. So that just tells me level calibration completed, no, blah blah. So ignore this for now. Some level readings, we ignore all of this for now. Just come down here, so it tells me there is what does it say? So move, blah blah blah, ignore all of that. So interestingly enough, it says air mass estimation results, air mass okay. So I'm not sure exactly what that means in there right now when we have a fault for air mass, but maybe this is just saying the system is ready to accommodate these pressures, or system fill not started. Then we come down here, I've seen somewhere here, so system error presence, yes, okay to chip, no, not completed, roll tape not completed, so ignore all of that. Now, so here I'm not 100% sure air mass estimation value 199 bars L. I think this means liters, but I don't think this tank holds 200 liters. That's impossible. Not really sure what this means right now. Then we have voltage, 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 and then we have definitely here, this is wrong, system pressure 1 bar. That's definitely wrong. It needs way more pressure. Even I know it needs way more pressure than that. 1 bar is not going to move the car up and down. So then we have, I don't think we have anything else for bars. Yeah, I think that's it really. That's all we have. So let's come here. Oh, what have I done? Was one of these things that I've done yesterday that went wrong. I don't know which one it was. So there it is. Fill system spring from reservoir. Now, if the reservoir is empty, it's not gonna do anything, obviously. So spring deflate to atmosphere, spring deflate to reservoir. Suspension values set right, disable compression circuit, fill spring compress component, air mass, pressure ride height readings. Let me see this one here, see what it says. Forget about that. Oh no, he's doing it. I can hear the compressor running. The car never moved its height. No, it's not moving at all. Nope. So air mass too low. So is these bars? Air tank component air mass 11 bars. Is that bars? It can't be bars. Total. Bars. Something's not right here. Obviously. The ECU will now be initialized to set to the stored status, particularly when completed. Okay, so that's the code that's there. It's not clear in the code, probably because, oh no, now the compressor is running. I can definitely hear the compressor running, quite loud. The car is not really moving anywhere. There's a tank needs to be filled in first, probably. So now that we did this, will I be able to come? These just stopped flashing, and now, yeah, now it's stored. There it is. So that was me. I've done. Yeah, the compressor runs, but the car doesn't move its height because of that low air mass. So as I'm going to show you, it doesn't move, and if you can hear, probably not. The compressor is definitely running, but as I said, guys, I have a feeling that this needs to be filled in first, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to go through these first and see if there's anything else we find, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm just going to show you where the tank leaves. So the tank leaves on this, in this case, on a left, right and drive, leaves right here. I guess it's going to be the same on the other ones. So you put the seats down, you take these off, and there is the tank. So the tank goes all the way from here all the way to that side. Okay, it's a quite long tank. It's probably about 10 centimeters diameter, and it runs all the way across, all the way to the end. Okay, and this is the fill point. That's where it's filled, is right here. So inside of that just has a normal, like, sort of a tire sort of pin inside, as you can see there, a little pin in the middle. And what I want to show you is that when I press that pin, we have no pressure on the tank at all. See if I can show you this. See that? So I'm pressing the pin. There's nothing there. Okay. So the system is completely empty. Right. Let me think what we're gonna do. Okay, guys. Okay, I know this is far from being correct, and I just want to prove the point. Because if this is supposed to be filled with nitrogen, it will have to be filled with nitrogen, and I'm not going to buy that, so we'll have to be dealer doing it. But what I want to do is just prove the concept. So I'm going to try to push some air into the thingy. I don't have the adapter, so I'm trying to come up with some stuff, try to see if I can build any pressure in there. And I'm just going to put the phone here so you guys can see, look at the pressures. I'll do it like so, and I'm gonna grab, I think it's gonna be this pressure here. We'll do it like this, and I'll just do it. I'll just do that. Right, so this So let me see if I can put this here somehow. I'm gonna try to push some air into the tank and see what happens. And look at that! There's actually air going to the tank. I'll never be able to put 20 bars on the tank or 13, but even because my compressor I think is at 8 bars only. I think that's as much as I can push in, to be fair with you. But it just proves the concept. I don't think I can push anymore. These obviously needs to be sealed, and you need way more than the 8 bars. I think it's 8 bars. Yeah, it's about 8 bars. Yeah, it's about 8 bars that my compressor can do, so I'll never be able to fill this to the correct pressure. But it proves the concept that the tank sensor is working. If I could put the 8 bars, maybe I could try to do a little bit more testing, but I don't think I'll have nothing to hold this so much. Okay, and I know you guys probably haven't really seen the difference on the phone, but I actually managed to raise the rear a little bit. I don't know if you can see the difference now between before and now. But the system, the compressor is connected straight into the tank. Okay, and I'm managing to get about 6 bars in there. Let me just show you. But it's just not enough to raise the car. The rear I managed to raise it quite well because there's not so much weight, but the front is just nearly impossible. So if you go here now, where's the, oh, he's down here somewhere. So I managed to get about, there we go, 6.45 bars on the tank, as you can see in there. That's how much the compressor can put in there. And if I try to do if I try to do these on the rears, because it's already filled in. I managed to fill the rear ones, but the front ones is just nearly impossible with 6 bars. Let me try the other side, because I only did one time on the other side. Maybe if I carry on trying, maybe that I can manage to fill all the springs. I think this side I only tried once, so maybe it's gonna raise a little bit again. Let me see if I can put the phone like that, in case if it raises you can guys see it actually going up. Maybe if we look like at the edge of the screen of the window. No, it didn't do anything. Let me have a look. Can you see it going up? I'm sure if you look right on the edge of the window, you've seen it going up just a little bit. And unfortunately, guys, it's not enough pressure on the system. I actually moved a little bit, and the rear ones are actually filled in to whatever they want, because it's telling me here again that's been done. I think I'm going to try a few times on the front and see if I can manage to actually fill the system at the front as well. Why not? Let's just see what we can do with this. Okay, so this is probably the 10th time I'm trying to record this section, and it's going to be the last one. I don't care how it comes out. So first of all, let me just recap that is not the way you should be filling the tank. The tank is supposed to be filled with nitrogen, as I said. So I'm just trying to prove that the system is working properly. Once that's done, I can tell the owner, look, you're gonna have to go to Jeep, discharge the system and fill it with nitrogen, or go to someone that does have the tools to refill the system with nitrogen, because obviously compressed air is not what you should be using. So that out of the way, this. So first of all, I was here, obviously, as you've seen, I've tried to fill the rears. The rears, they move very slowly, but they moved a little bit. The front ones, when I've showed you on the last clip, it did move a tiny bit. Probably it was very difficult to see, but it did move a tiny bit. Now, I was here trying to check for leaks. The rear ones, to really check the springs, I can obviously disconnect everything there and check it from there to see if there's any leaks. But to get straight to the airbags, you need to take the entire trims on the sides of the boot. I don't want to do that for yet. So what I've done in the front, because it's easier to get to, obviously, I've disconnected these hoses here, and when I pulled them out, was air inside the airbag, so the air just rushed out. So it was definitely holding air. If there is a leak, I'm not going to say there isn't. If there is a leak, I guess it's going to be small. But the bit that was really puzzling me is because the way I see this system working is, and you guys can either confirm or deny, go in the comments below, is you have the tank at the back, and the tank is only there to supply some pressure, obviously, into the compressor. That's the old compressor, by the way, which was in the rear seats, in the floor. And then the compressor is the one that's going to really push the nitrogen, or the air, whatever. That's really going to push that into the struts, into the airbags, to lift the car. The pressure alone from the tank, I don't think is enough. You're going to need the compressor to do it. So I was there just thinking, why is that? The rear kind of lifted a little bit because the car, obviously there's less weight, and the rear kind of lifted, but the front, it lifted a tiny bit, especially when I tested, when I discharged the front airbags by disconnecting the pipe. put it back in, and when I initially tried to fill them in, the first bit as the airbag starts to get pressure, it lifts the car a little bit. You can definitely see it, but then it just stops. And I thought, why is the compressor not able to lift the car? Let me check which compressor they put in. So to start with, that's the old compressor, and as you can see in there, that's also a used compressor. but first of all, let me show you that some people are just not, they have no pride about their work at all. They are not pride at all. Look at this. Look at this stuff. Everything is just hanging off here. Look at that. This is how it was. Nothing is plugged in. Bent frames. Look at this bracket here. Everything's a mess. But then I thought, let me see if these pipes are connected properly and all that good stuff. And let me show you what someone did. Someone connected, I'm going to show you in a minute, someone connected. So the way it works here, it makes me laugh. This really makes me laugh. So this clear pipe here is the pipe that comes from the reservoir. Okay? And someone connected the reservoir straight to the block. You can see that's the block. There's a old block. Hold on. So there it is. So this is the old block. So they replaced the whole thing. But let me just actually let me put some. No, that's fine. That's good light like that. So this comes from the tank, and someone connected the tank straight into the block, right? And then you only have another 4 connections there. Okay, so you have the rear, right front, and then the white right there, left rear, and then at the top you have right rear and left front. Okay, and then I thought, okay, if the reservoir is coming straight to here, where is the pump connected? So what they did is someone connected the pump like this. Look, you can see here, it comes from the pump, this pipe goes up here, is connected to this block here, you see, and then goes back into the pump. So basically the pump is pumping, is not putting any, so the tank, so this white pipe from the tank should go up here, straight to the pump, and then the pump, this one should connect here, where the pump is. So the reservoir feeds the compressor, and then the compressor feeds, it says there, pump, the P for pump, and someone connected this wrong. Honestly, I don't know what to think. I'm not gonna rant, because there's really no point, but some people, there's, I don't know. I don't even know why they work on cars. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Anyway, that's gonna fix this, swap those pipes, and see what happens. Let me show you even more. So this block right here at the top is this block. That's right there. Look what says right there at the top. Res. For reservoir. And someone connected the reservoir here. And the pump is just cycling around itself. Oh man. So I've disconnected the compressor, so the tank, the reservoir, shouldn't have too much in there. Put a little bit of Vaseline around this seal for the pump. So I'm gonna try to actually, oh my god, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to bend this bracket a little bit. Just hold a second. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Now let's gonna put this. This is not even locked in place, so that goes there. Then this looks like goes here. And I tell you one thing, I hate to screw these things on these plastic blocks because it's so easy to cross thread this. It's just, see if I can do this without cross threading this. Oh man. Now I'm thinking, could it be that that pump is actually good, the old one, and whoever did this connected exactly the same way it was as the old one was, because someone messed up. I don't know, difficult to tell. Anyway, there's no point to be here showing you something so simple. So let's gonna finish this off and then try the system again. Okay, so pump connected to there, and now the reservoir connected to there to feed obviously the pump. So now we're gonna put the wheel back in, drop the car, and see what happens. Okay, so the Maxi is actually run out of battery, so I just turn it back on and it's charging through there. And I have to reload everything again, but for now let's just start this thing. See what happens. Okay, there it is. So let's gonna start this compressor again. Okay, and right now I'm dropping the car again. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it dropping. Look, see? So I'm dropping the car, and then I want to see how quick it's gonna lift. So the rear, as you can see, is quite up at the moment. So we're gonna deflect. I already deflected. I already depressurized both front ones. Now we're gonna do the rear ones. I've stopped the compressor because I'm let me see if I show you, is spring deflate. That's it, it's deflate. So I'm deflate to the reservoir, so any pressure from the airbags should go back into the tank, and for that I've stopped the compressor for now. It says failed, don't know why it says failed, but doesn't really matter. All I want to see is that it's dropping. So I'm now going to drop this side just to quickly show you. There we go. Can you see it coming down? I'm sure you can. There we go. It does in 4 or 5 times. Should do it again. There we go again. A little bit more. There we go. So all I'm gonna do, guys, is deflate all of them, and then we're gonna raise, and I want to see how quick they raise. Okay, let's try to fill these now. Gonna try to do this with the engine off so we can. Oh. Oh, look at that. Look at the difference. I was gonna do it again in a second. I'm hoping. Come up with some. No, he's going to do it again in a second, I think. Let me see what he says. There we go. Look at that. So, quick. Look at that. Look how fast he goes. Wow. Now he's working because the compressor, not that compressor, look. He's lifting the entire front of the car. Have you seen that? Wow. So now we're going to do the same for the rear. Look at that. Okay. See if he does again. There we go, look at that. What a difference. Just because someone connected the compressor wrong. Wow. Wow. Right, let's gonna finish this. I'm gonna raise the whole car. I'm gonna do the other side now. There we go. So it completes successfully every time now. So there's one spring or one airbag to fill, which is the left rear. Oh, damn it. That's not what I wanted. So there's no point for me to be here now showing you this. So clearly someone messed up. So what we're going to do now is do this and then we'll try to do a calibration if there is no more errors, which I'm hoping. Look at that, just lifting absolutely perfect. Look at that. Wow. Okay, and after calibration my code goes to stored, and yes, I've just inserted some sort of nominal values, if you will. So I've set 82 millimeters for both front, and I've set 89 millimeters for both rear ones, and let's just confirm that we have no codes. There we go. And let's start this. I'm guessing I'm only gonna get the four-wheel drive system now. There we go. I don't know why he does this. Really be weird. Look like he's booting up. There we go. Service, four-wheel drive. I already showed you what that is. I'm not going to bother with that. I was not asked to look at that. And now let me just see if I can somehow move this up and down. Absolutely. Rear is coming up. Let me see when the front comes up. There we go. Can you see there? There we go. Look at that. And it stopped on that level. Now we're going to put it all the way up. Actually shows in there going up, and it's coming up again. The rear first. Let me see when the front starts to come up. I'm going to leave the phone here like steady so you can see. Got the front now, I'm guessing. There we go, the front coming up. It's taking a little bit for some reason. Maybe I've been here on and off and the compressor is getting warm. Looks like it's not all the way up yet. I think that's it now. Off-road 2, there we go. It's all the way up. Now let's gonna put it down, and it's coming down. And if you can hear the air rushing to the tank. There we go, all the way down. Now we're gonna put it down. And now I'm gonna put the phone outside just for one last check. And we're gonna raise the car all the way up. So let me put it like that, maybe. I think it's still a little bit to go at the front. The rear is definitely up. Now these calibration values, guys, they might be not the correct ones, but as I said, the system needs to be filled in with the nitrogen, the correct stuff. So that's my advice, is to take it there. The car to calibrate should be on a flat surface and making the right. There we go, going up at the front now. Guys, the only thing I want to prove with this is that this is working absolutely perfect, and as you can see now, it looks pretty much okay now. I don't know if you can see. There we go. And let's just recheck that we have no faults. We shouldn't have any faults, I think. Oh, there we go. Let's do one last scan to the system. There we go. You see, that's the problem now, because I'm here just playing with the system. The pump is going to run for too long, and is going to cause these problems. Yeah, he's waiting for the pump to there we go, it's all the way up now, but what he's doing is waiting for the pump to cool down. So obviously this is, it's just what it is, but the system is working, guys. So that's the most important thing, is that the system is working. Okay, and I'm just literally getting back home from a test drive, and it drove absolutely perfect. There is no fault at all. I've tried the suspension up and down a few times. If you do it too often, it comes up with that over temperature fault, but as soon as the compressor temperature drops, it carries on working. That doesn't throw any faults on the system. And the only fault we still have now, as you've just seen, is still that, but I was not requested to look at that. I'll just show you. I've just scanned it, but we'll just show you there is still no codes. And that's it, guys. In the end, you have seen what the problem was. Now, is that the other compressor was actually good as well? and was already connected wrong. Someone installed another compressor, sorry, and when installed this last compressor, copied what was on the other one without realizing was doing it wrong, and was left with the same issue. Look, I don't know, I don't have a clue, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter for now. All it matters is we figured out what the problem was. Those hoses were connected wrong, and we fixed the problem. Now, yes, the system is working, but as I said, this is supposed to be filled with nitrogen, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to tell the guy, ideally, he needs to take this to Jeep or someone with the correct equipment to fill this with that gas, and possibly do a proper calibration on a leveled surface and all that good stuff. But for now it's working, guys, and that's all that matters, and you all have seen what the problem was. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. With no further ado, I do really hope you enjoyed the video. Obviously that I was not asked to look at that, and I'm not going to look at that. So as I was saying, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope maybe you learned something. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you know exactly how it works, just put them below right there. And like always, thanks for watching.